Hi, Simone Vincenzi from GTeX and welcome for another GTeX show. Well, first of all, see the button below, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to create an empowering and fulfilled life. Today's topic is how to overcome every fear. Well, let's be honest. We all have fears, right? I have fears, you have fears, everyone has fears. And those fears are holding us back and are preventing us from achieving what we really want to achieve. Those fears are preventing us from creating the life that we really want to create. And I remember talking to a friend and he wanted to start his own business. And he was talking at these brilliant ideas, and he said, yeah, I'm going to start my own business tomorrow. And that tomorrow became the day after tomorrow. And the day after tomorrow became the day after tomorrow, and it never happened. So what is stopping us? What is stopping us, and what can we do in order to prevent those fears to happen and actually literally control our life? Because it's like we're not in control of our life anymore, right? How can you take control of your life again? And this is what you are going to learn in this video. Now, the step that I use are 3 easy steps in order to overcome every single fear. And you can apply those 3 easy steps to every single fear that you have and make sure you have always the same results. So what are these 3 steps? Step number 1. Step number 1 is acknowledge your fear. Acknowledge it. Sometimes we fight with our fear, but there is nothing wrong. We are all humans. We all have fears. And there is nothing wrong in having fears. The fact is that more you fight with yourself, more actually you start like self-flagellating, you have those fears here. And this is what happened. And you start having a very self-destructive relationship with yourself. And actually, the funny thing is that you will never get rid of that fears if you don't have a good, empowering, a solid relationship with yourself. So step number 1, acknowledge your fear. There is nothing wrong with that. Then we have step number 2. And step number 2 is go through that fear. Go through that fear. And why is that so important? Because sometimes we can do all the crazy techniques that we know. We can do NLP, we can do the tapping thing, we can do visualization. Yeah, these are all cool things, and I use them very often. I'm not saying they're not useful. But I know a friend that has spent 5 years tapping on the same thing, and is still not facing that fear. So you have to face it. You have to face it, because just facing those fears, you will have actually your breakthrough. The breakthrough that will allow you to create the life that you really want without that fear. For example, if you want to start your own business, or you want to ask to that girl or the woman or that man that you really like, and you want to say, hey, you want to get out with me? Wink, wink. If you want to do that, yeah, you just gotta do it. And more you will do it, more comfortable you will become. At the beginning, of course, it's not going to be pleasant, it's not going to be comfortable, but more and more you do it, it will become like a piece of cake. Like now I'm speaking in front of hundreds of people. The first time, 4 to 5 people, I was terrified. Now hundreds of people, and I'm perfectly okay. So step number 2 is face it. Just do it. Face that fear. So just to recap, step number 1, acknowledge your fear. After you have acknowledged your fear, and make peace with that. Face it, like go through that. And then we have the final step, which is step number 3. And step number 3 is celebrate. Yes, celebrate. You have to celebrate the fact that you went through your fear. By celebration, we don't mean just like, if you want, you can jump around like, ah! If you go to a Tony Robbins seminar, you're just like celebrating every 5 minutes. Well, if you are the kind of person, do that. But it might just be like acknowledging yourself, giving yourself a good pat on the back and say, hey, done a great job. And by doing that, you're actually sending to your subconscious mind the message that if you overcome your fears, you're going to be rewarded. And all we want is actually a reward, right? So by doing that and celebrating and say, yeah, I've done it, well done, taking you out for dinner, giving yourself a massage or a bath, or having a special night with a person that you love, another wink wink. That's going to be really the key to make sure that all the process will stick. And I give you an example. Every time I do something that makes me feel uncomfortable, for example, I had to do a rock star concert. I'm dressed like a rock star, and it made me feel bloody uncomfortable because I didn't know what was the response of the audience. And I said, you know what? I've been putting it off now for a year. Let's do that. And it went great. And at the end, I was celebrating. I gave myself like a bar of chocolate. I love chocolate, so a bar of dark chocolate because I'm vegan, as you know. But that was my way, and that's it, right? So step 1, acknowledge that fear. Step 2, face it. Step 3, let's celebrate. Right, so I hope that was useful, and I'm sure you're going to use those steps. Now, I'm really curious to know how you are going to use those steps, what are your fears, and how you can overcome that. So please leave a comment below, and if you like this video and you want to see more of me, wink wink, or our great company GTeX, subscribe to our YouTube channel in the bottom below. It would be great seeing you again. Well, I wish a fantastic day or evening or whatever it is. And remember, live with purpose. Ciao.